So here we are with our Algebra 7.1 quiz review. 3 topics are going to be writing exponential equations from a word problem, graphing exponential equations with a table, and writing an exponential equation from a graph. So let's get started. First, write the exponential equation in y equals ab to the x form for the following situations. So if I take a look at this, keep in mind that a is the initial value. It should be in your toolkit. And that b is the multiplier. Also, we specifically say about those multipliers that if we have a percent increase, we do 1 plus the percent over 100. And then if we have a percent decrease, we do 1 minus the percent over 100. So let's take a look at these 2 problems. Alex invests $10,000 in a bank account that earns 9.5% interest annually. So if I think about what that's going to look like, first of all, I have $10,000 is my investment. So that's the initial value. And then I'm earning 9.5% interest. That's going to be 1 plus 9.5 over 100. And the equation would be y equals 10,000 times 1.095 to the x power. Second, we have Matt, and Matt bought a truck for $36,500 and is depreciating at a rate of 17% per year. So here's your initial value, the purchase price. Okay, and then depreciating 17%. That's going to be going down, 1 minus 17 over 100. So your equation for this one will be y equals $36,500 times 0.83 to the x. Second, you're going to have to graph an equation, exponential equation, using a table. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a table, xy, for this. Now you can do the table by hand, or you could use your calculator to get the table. Just make sure when you go to y equals on your calculator, you're typing in 2 times 3 and using the caret key for the x power. So, or you could do it by hand. So the initial value here is 2, and then if I times by 3, I'll get 6. And if I times by 3, I'll get 18. And if I times by 3 again, I'll get 54. And then if I go backwards there, I'll have 2/3, which is 0.67. Then I plot my points, 0, 2. Plot the ones you can, 1, 6. Now I can't plot 318, that's going to be off the chart up here somewhere. But I could go backwards and plot negative 1.67. Then just remember that this levels off at 0 if you follow your table, and then increases from there. Okay, it is not a straight line and it does not dip below the x-axis. So that's what your graph's going to look like. And remember that the x-axis here is called an asymptote. We haven't talked much about that yet. You'll learn more about it in future classes. But it's a place in the graph where the line approaches but never actually equals. Last, we have writing an exponential equation given a graph. So let me go ahead and give you a graph, and then from there you can do your exponential equation for that. So assuming this is the graph that's given to us, the first step, at least what I would do for this problem tomorrow on the quiz, is I would go ahead and set up an xy table with the points that I already know. So if I do that, I'm going to see here that I have negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. I'm not going to give you this many points tomorrow. Then you have, let's see, 8, 4, 2, and 1. So it's very obvious from both my graph and the table that I made what my starting value is. Remember, I have y equals a b to the x power. So my initial value, my a value, is 4. Now to get the b value, you have a couple options. You can think in your head, what must I multiply by to go down the table? Sometimes that's not always easy to think about. So our alternative is, how do I divide going up the table? So if I do 2 divided by 4, that will tell me my multiplier. So I get b equals 1/2. So that equation then in the end is going to say y equals 4, starting value, times 1/2, you could use a decimal if you wanted to the x power. And those will be the 3 questions on the quiz. Good luck in your studies. and I'll see you in the morning.